This ancient Dell server powers most of my on-prem storage. It works, but it's loud, power hungry, and highly inefficient. I don't have much visibility into disk health, RAID health, etc. And since it's running 24/7, the power usage adds up fast. So today, with the help of Ubiquiti, I'm replacing it with this, the UNAS Pro 8. But I do want to say this is a perfect NAS for what I need, and I'll explain more on that later. The price is great, the performance is hopefully going to be great. We're going to find that out. I have 7 disks in my Ubuntu server currently that are all 12 terabyte drives. I've ordered one more, and we're going to be putting all 8 of those into the UNAS Pro 8. I also got 2 1 terabyte SSDs and a second power supply, so we will have fully redundant power supplies, and this is going to be a sweet upgrade from my super old PowerEdge server. And before we do that, I want to take a look at the power draw. Now, full transparency, I am using about 1 kilowatt across all of my stuff, which is crazy because that equates to about 15 cents per hour. Now, the power draw right now is high because I'm migrating stuff off of the server, but it's still a fact that I wanted to just throw out there. And in the last 30 days, I've used about $71 of power. This Grafana dashboard's not super fast, but you'll see I'm using a lot of power. I believe the storage server is this top one right here, so especially when I started doing the data migration a couple days ago, you'll see the power usage did go up considerably. So with that being said, let's see what kind of power draw we're going to have on this device. But first of all, we got to get it out of its box. It does come with a set of rails, and here's the actual NAS itself. It's very heavy. It does come with 1 power supply installed in it already, but if you do want the full redundancy, you'll have to purchase a second power supply. So I already have a UNAS 2 at a different site for a remote backup server, but the process of installation for that is quite a bit different than the UNAS Pro 8. The UNAS Pro 8 is a rack-mounted NAS, and I rack-mounted it with the rails. I had my dad help me rack it. It was kind of a 2-person deal. I lined up the rails as he slid it in, and it all kind of worked out very nicely. The racking process is pretty easy. These are static rails pretty much, so you can't really move it in and out like you can a typical server, but for something like this, it's short enough that you really don't have to move it out, and there's no maintenance you're going to do on it either because everything you need is in the front. The installation process was a breeze, as you would expect, and I did install the second power supply as well. I took it out of its box, of course. It came with a power cable, which is good to know, and the power supply slides in just like any other Pro server I've used. Very easy process, and it all turned out really nicely. It looks great in the rack. And then it's time to install the NVMe SSDs. I got 2 1 terabyte SSDs. I think they're about $150 each from the Ubiquiti store. And these SSDs are going to serve as a cache for our RAID pool. So you can use them in various ways, but I'm using them as a read and write cache. And that caching layer is going to add significant performance improvements to our RAID pool because spinning drives are slow, but solid state drives are obviously a lot faster. This caching layer should have plenty of capacity for any files I throw at it, so I can write directly to the cache, and that can offload to the hard drive pool whenever it has time. And of course, because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, we have 2 drives for a RAID 1 configuration. So if one of the drives fails while it holds cached data, then all your data is not going to be gone. So it's nice to have that added layer of redundancy in the event that something happens to an SSD while you're caching, just so your data gets safely to your hard drives as it needs to. And of course, the last step is taking out all of the old drives from the old server and putting them into the new caddies from the UNAS and installing the caddies back into the UNAS. This took probably 5 or 10 minutes, but it's just a matter of unscrewing everything and screwing it back in. The UNAS Pro 8 is installed, the drives are in, and I have begun setting it up on the Unify portal. But the real question is, did this actually solve our power problem? Which, if you remember, is the whole reason I wanted to do this in the first place, because the power draw for my Dell server was too high. So again, this is my Grafana dashboard that kind of shows the power usage. And if I move this up or over here, you'll be able to see all of these are different UPS units that I have. This top one is the UPS unit that a lot of my servers are on. Same for this green one. That's why those takes considerably more power than everything else. But right here, we are averaging about 300 to 400 watts. This is kind of when I was transferring data off of that server. And you'll see I did it a little farther back as well. So when I was transferring data off, it was a little higher than usual, but typically we're averaging 350, 340, 320. But now we are averaging about 200 watts. So we are considerably saving a whole lot of power. We pay 15 cents per kilowatt hours. So if we do some basic math and we subtract that, we have 170 watts of savings, and 170 watts times 750 hours in a month divided by 1,000 to get to kilowatts is 127.5 times 15 cents. That is going to be saving us $20 a month in power just like that. And that's pretty awesome. And this is what the UNAS looks like on the new health monitor page, which I really like. It shows you all your disks as well as their power on hours. You'll see our M.2 SSDs are of course brand new, and our 7 hard drives are all there, and we are missing the 8th again because I did order a new one. So that is going to fill that 8th slot right there. And I did do a RAID 6 pool. I could have done a RAID 5, but I wanted the extra protection of having a RAID 6 pool. That's pretty awesome. We're going to have a lot of redundancy there, and we are going to be syncing this with the new backups task page to my remote UNAS. I have a UNAS 2 at a remote site, so those can kind of like cross sync between each other, which is going to be pretty awesome. So our storage pool is still syncing, as you'll see, because these drives are initializing and the pool is syncing. It's going to take about 18 hours to fully finish this process, which is fine. So one thing you guys may have noticed is how we don't have any SSDs added to our RAID pool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go and click on one of our SSDs at the bottom, and we are going to configure the cache. There are a lot of ways you can configure the cache, and I'm not going to go through all the combinations in this video, but essentially just know that you could do a RAID 0 or a RAID 1 with those two cache SSDs. But what I will be doing is switching this to RAID 1 because I am going to lean on the safe side. In the event that one of these drives does die, I do want to have that additional caching layer there. I don't want to lose my data that should be stored on the NAS but wasn't stored there yet because it was still in the cache. And we're literally just going to click on create, and we're going to understand the risks of having a cache, and it's going to go through and format those SSDs and add them into our pool as the cache SSDs. And then of course we can mount this as a disk, as a share here on our Mac. So I'm going to go ahead and use the personal drive for now, and we'll click on that to open it up in Finder. And this is essentially what it looks like. I mean, it's just a storage share. So what I want to do though is do a speed test. We're going to do a disk speed test. Now this is highly relative to the drives that I have, to the SSDs that I have, to the network I have set up. So take this with a grain of salt. But this is essentially a right out of the box speed test where we're going to use the UNAS RAID pool as our target. This is Blackmagic Disk Speed Test. It's just kind of a speed test utility for macOS. We'll click on start and we'll see what kind of speeds we can get. This is a 10 gig network that I have between my Mac and my switch that goes to an aggregation switch. There's a lot of hops in the network, but just know that this is a 10 gig network. The UNAS is connected at 10 gig SFP plus, and essentially we should be writing to the cache SSDs entirely right now. We are getting about 150 megabytes per second, so it looks like reading is a lot faster than writing in this case. So it is pretty good. Because of the caching on these drives, you really want to be careful with power outages. So if you are going to mimic my setup here and get a UNAS Pro 8, I would highly recommend you get a UPS unit for that as well. It's not too expensive, and it gives you the peace of mind knowing that your data will be fully written to your hard drives by the time the cache empties itself, and it will be able to do a safe shutdown if you get the Ubiquiti UPS or a NUT compatible UPS. I'm going to keep testing this UNAS, of course. I'll be pushing it to its limits and putting it through its paces. I'm going to keep testing the backup tasks, SSD performance, and overall performance over time. But for the first setup, I think this really did solve a lot of problems. We have lower power, we have cleaner storage, and we have way better visibility into my storage environment. I'll get an alert if a drive goes bad, and that's awesome, and that's something I did not have on my Ubuntu server. Instead of running a full Ubuntu server to manage storage with like software RAID and all that kind of stuff, I have a purpose-built box now for bulk storage. And this is of course not going to replace every single server in my rack. This is not trying to be my TrueNAS box, my Proxmox server, or anything like that. It doesn't even have virtualization options built into it. But I think for bulk and on-prem storage, I think it makes a lot more sense to run this 24/7 than keeping an ancient Dell server online forever. And this is my favorite kind of upgrade in my server rack, because this is not just adding another shiny box to my rack that's going to add more power. I'm actually saving power. I'm getting a nice looking device, and I'm getting a device that's just going to work and just get its job done. If you want to purchase this device yourself, please use my affiliate link down in the description below. But outside of that, that is all I have for this video. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you all in the next video.